Right then, episode number 34.
Yes, and we're back.
Welcome back to our Q&A episode. We've got a lot of questions.
Yeah, we're going to go through them. We've not done a Q&A for a little while, so
I know,
we're going to
I
get
like a
stuck
good
into some
Q&A.
of that. Yeah, oh, a good Q&A. Love a good Q&A, me.
Yeah, I love a good Q&A, me.
I've pinched some of the questions off my last NGL that I put up because, as I said on my story, my, what's it called? Toxic trait is putting up an NGL and not doing it.
Asking everyone all the questions and then not answering the questions.
I don't do it on badness. I think, I'll do an NGL box, and I put it up. Then by the time it comes around to getting them all in the next day, I'm like, I can't be asked to go. Yeah. Or I ain't got time to go on my story or whatever. You end up like busy.
Yeah, or I put one on and then a week later I think, I forgot to answer those questions.
Yeah, mine on there when I dug them off then was 3 weeks ago. Yeah. So I've pulled you a few off there, and Leah, you put a box up and you got loads of questions.
Yeah, I got a few, and I got a couple. Me and Amy did a podcast yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And I had a couple that came through after we'd done the podcast, so I've pulled those over to today as well.
Sick.
So we've got some good ones.
So we'll answer a bit of everybody's questions. Amy, I am playing the part of you today.
Yes, you've got the pink hoodie on.
Oh, aye.
I like that pink hoodie.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, aye.
She's jolly, isn't she? I think she's in it. Yeah, I know, it's the Old Faithful, this one. It's got the old logo on it and everything. I just seen it in the wardrobe this morning. I thought,
I'm feeling pink today.
Pink today.
I do like pink. It's my favourite colour, actually.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's my favourite colour. It's Daphne's favourite colour.
Yeah.
So I'll wear it for Daphne.
That's
She'll be buzzing
cute.
when I go home and she sees I've got pink on. Bless her.
Right. Shall I pick one?
Right, go on then. You kick them off. I have had a brief read through the ones you've just put in there 1 second ago.
I'm just going to go through them in the right order so we didn't miss any.
I don't like to think about the answers. I like to be put on the
I know.
like, just, there's the question. Answer
Exciting.
it.
Okay. That's quite a boring one. I'm not going to start with that.
Let's just do them in order.
I'm
Right,
joking,
actually, that was quite boring. You can't read it now. You've just said it's boring.
No, I'm going to pick a different one.
This is not the one she was saying was boring. Whoever's took the time to write this to us.
Okay, we'll go with a good one. First timers in 2024. Did you see some great standard potential for the future of the sport? Okay, this is 2 questions, so we'll start with that one.
Did I? Yeah, you always do, don't you, throughout some of the first timers. I mean, I think the two, I don't like to blow our own trumpet or anything, but I think out the two standouts at the first timer shows last year was Val and Ellie, wasn't it? Obviously,
yeah, they were amazing.
2 stars was born that day, as you would say. Val obviously went straight on to win a pro card in bikini pretty much straight away. She'd done the first timers, won pro card, then won the pro show in Germany a few weeks later.
That was good.
Obviously, everyone was raving about her last year. She did really well. Ellie, smashed through everything she did. Qualifier, British.
Are they competing again next year?
No, they're going to take 2 years between. Take some recovery. Val's taking quite a bit of recovering, to be fair. Body is a body that's going to take more recovery than what you'd expect normally. She's going to take a little bit longer. And Ellie, she could have done athletic if we'd have really pushed it and wanted to. I think that if there is ever such a borderline between categories, she was fucking sat on it like that, obviously. And her goal is to come back and try and win the pro card in athletic when she comes back, which she's capable of doing. She's completely natural as well. So like going through the growing phases, we're not using anything to do that. So when she comes back, we'll come back and do natural. Yeah. Well, we'll do athletic figure. Maybe even do it at the natural shows, to be fair. The PTA natural shows, we could do that. So they'll both be back at the end of 26, so next year.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like just in general with people that competed through like 2024, there's so many just good bodybuilders now.
Yeah, the standard just gets better every year.
I think it's so exciting though, like it's so cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Because I remember like when I started competing in 2018, like it wasn't really that
popular.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think the standards of everything just goes up every year.
Yeah.
So like the people who are obviously leading the coaching industry get better every single year. So then they can do better things with the athletes, and then there's just constantly more information available, and it just evolves every year. What was classed as big and ripped in 2021 was not necessarily classed as big. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just changed, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's exciting though. Yeah. So there was definitely loads of good people that competed last year.
Yeah. I'm obviously going to mention my own clients, but there was plenty of good ones.
Yeah, there was loads. Best tips for a first timer. I feel like this. I could do a whole podcast on best tips as a first timer.
We have.
Have we? I can't
We've done
remember.
multiple.
We've definitely talked about first timers.
We've done that quite a lot. I'm going to let you take the lead on this one then.
Should we do a top tip each?
A top tip each.
A top tip each.
A top tip each. Oh no, a top tip each.
A top tip each. Okay, my tip is, I actually did put a reel out on this the other day about making sure that you've got your routine like locked in before you go into your prep, because this is what I didn't do. And I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to compete. And then I tried to like follow a plan, do my cardio, get my steps in at the same time as going into a prep.
Yeah.
So start your prep when you've already got like a good routine with your steps and your sleep and your food shop, your meal prep, like all your nitty-gritty daily basics. That was a tongue twister. All those basics, like you want to have those locked in.
I agree.
Before, but I think there's a lot more like now on social media and just about bodybuilding, so people kind of know what it's about. Whereas I think when I did it, I didn't really understand it that much.
There wasn't as much information around. No, definitely not.
So like even Instagram wasn't really in 2020, 2017, 2016. Like it wasn't really that.
It was more Facebook, wasn't it? Still then.
Yeah, it was kind of just there wasn't that much out there. So I think just take your time with the bit before.
Just think like reels weren't a thing.
Yeah, I know.
It was just pictures, wasn't it?
I remember when I started my Instagram account and I just used to post because I was like really into like recipe creation and all that. That's why I started my fitness Instagram. If you go right back to the start of my Instagram, if you're ever really bored, it's just photos of like food that I've made.
Yeah, the reels weren't ever a thing until a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. Anyway, so locking in your routine. Yeah,
lock in your routine. Do an off season first. Don't go into a prep. Like, don't just start bodybuilding and do a prep. Basically, just take your time with it at the start.
Yeah. I think, to be fair, my tip is just a broader version of your tip, which would be make sure you've planned it out a couple of years in advance. You know, when you're competing, you've got enough muscle on your body. You've gone through a diet phase before and seen what that's like. That's you've basically, as I always say, land your prep up so you're at the right point. The right amount of body fat to lose in the right amount of time. You know your body's responsive. You're not being dieting constantly all the time. You've done your pre-prep. And just been through all the phases that you need to go through, knowing that you can do everything you need to do. Make sure your life's in the right place. Yeah. Not got mad stuff going on, events, this, that. You've got the right partner and they're supportive, or get rid of your partner if they're not supportive, or whatever it is you're going to do. And just make sure you're proper locked in. So like, what you're saying, basically the same thing, but probably like on a more broader scope of an overall. I love it when I get inquiries and they'll say, all right, Dan, I've just started getting into bodybuilding a little bit, blah, 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 blah. And this is now, they'll say, I want to compete May 2027. Yeah. And I'll be like, brilliant.
Yeah, you know really good.
This is what we're going to do between now and then. This is where you're at. This is what we're going to do. And I plan out the full 2 years. Obviously, it's movable if it needs to be moved, but this is what we're going to go through at this time and this time and this time and this time. And that's fucking great. I hate it when you get someone come on and it's like, they're just not even doing bodybuilding. They're like, I want to compete in 4 months.
Yeah, I know.
And they sound really like disgusted at me when I'm like, you ain't competing in 4 months. You're mad. Do you know what I mean? And it upsets people. But just get it fucking locked in from the off. Speak to the right people and plan it out. Even if you don't have a coach for the full time, because I understand it's an expense, but at least have spoken to someone that knows what they're doing and like, get that locked down with time frames.
Yeah. Yeah, like the girls I've got competing this year and next year, I've had throughout the whole of last year.
Yeah.
So then you can sit down, you can review it, you can put it on I have like a roadmap that's like we put the dates in, we can block out the phases so they can like see it as well.
Yeah.
And then it just looks really nice. Like they know where they're at. We'll get on calls, review it, replan it out again.
And you know what the body does. You know what they act like under stress. You know what they diet like. You know what they're like when you're pushing food. You know what they respond like to daily things going wrong, and just all you get a big picture of everything. You know what I mean?
Basically, take your time and don't rush it.
Yeah, I should have just said that.
No, you've got a lot of good valuable tips there.
Yeah.
Got 20 tips.
But yeah, take your time.
Okay. Yeah. Right, this one's training related. Does lower volume of training result in less gains if you can't recover from a high training volume? I'm just going to put this is like 2 questions, so let's do that one first.
I think that question
answers itself.
I think that question answers itself. If you can't recover from what is being classed as higher volume, then you have to go. Yeah. You basically have to go to your maximum recoverable amount of volume, really. I've probably said this before, but I think for me, the bigger I got, the lower volume I had to do, because the stronger you get, the harder it becomes to recover. And I might have started training 5 or 6 days a week when I was young, doing it however many, like 15, 16 sets or whatever, working sets, whatever it might be. By the time I got to the very end, for me personally, and I'm not saying this to everybody, because I know some of the, watch JP and that, they train like 20 sets and that. Yeah. But for me, I think I ended up down at about 7 working sets per training session, 4 days a week. And I was still growing quickly from that. Yeah. But I just realised I was quite perceptive of when I felt trashed, and I just, do you know what I mean?
It's like so personal, isn't it?
It ended up less and less. Now, my intensity was extremely high on those. It was a lot. So there was a lot of drop sets and things like that. So there was still some volume being built up, but the actual amount of working sets ended up like low as fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's kind of the same, like I got asked on the podcast the other day, what's better, like for bikini, 4 days or 5 days? And it's like, there's no, like you can't turn around to someone and be like, yeah, you need to do this many days of training, this is how many sets you need to do, because it's going to be dependent on what you can recover from.
Yeah, for everybody. Some girls, I mean, it's more often it's 5 than 4, but you train 4 days. Yeah, and you've pulled that down. You feel a lot better since you've been doing that last couple of years or whatever. I remember like Millie Dunn, one of my bikini girls who won pro the other year at the university and whatnot. She couldn't go over 4 days ever. She just told me off. She told me at the beginning, and I remember thinking, all right, we'll just see how we go.
Yeah.
She fucking grew like fuck, and then she dieted well and all the rest of it. And I've got a good handful of people that only train 4 days a week. I think when you start going down to 3, it's probably a little bit different.
3's more so like maybe lifestyle, general.
Yeah, you do need, if you're moving at speed, I wouldn't probably bring it below 4. But it depends, you know.
Yeah, 4 to 5, optimal.
Yeah, so whatever you can recover from. Just because someone's doing 20 sets, don't mean to say you need to do 20 sets.
Yeah.
If you can do 10, you know what I mean?
Just the second part of that question. Or does training at your own max volume mean you will make the most possible gains?
So she's completely answered her own question.
Yeah. I think she just wanted kind of reassurance. But she's right in what she said.
It's hard though. I understand what she'll be thinking. Is this a person or is it an NGL? Do you know what it is?
No, I don't know who it is.
It's hard because they'll be seeing all this other shit on social media and people will be posting the full workouts and they'll be thinking, fuck, they're doing a lot. And I fell into that with social media thinking, fuck, maybe I need to go back up to that. But every time it just blew up back in my face. Or for me, I preferred as a bodybuilder training high reps for legs, 15 to 20s. And then you'd see like trained by JP doing like sets of 5 and 6. And I think, fuck, that's what I need to do. He's bigger than me. Do you know what I mean? And it just never worked like that. So
it's just finding what works for you, isn't it?
I think you find your own way without realising a lot of the time. You fall into ways of doing things what suit you, and then you end up.
I agree.
I think a lot of it happens naturally without even thinking about it.
Yeah, I think as long as you're going in, you're training really, really hard, you're recovering well, you're sound, aren't you? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
If
you can't go in for an extra session and give it your all, then don't bother going in.
Yeah, because that's the thing I was having when I was running 5 training days over 7 days. I was like I was all right for the first 2 or 3 weeks, and then it would like catch up, and then I'd go into like the 4th week, I was a bit sore still, and then the 5th week I was like, my legs are still really sore when I was going into my next leg day.
So it's 4 for you, isn't it?
And then I was battered.
Yeah.
We did it at one point where I was running 5 days over an 8-day period, and that was fine, but then it threw my head off training on different days every week because I couldn't plan anything.
It's annoying.
We just ended up doing 4. Okay, a couple of nutrition ones. So do glutamine and EAs count to daily protein goal? So obviously they have some protein in, right? I think if you track EAs, it's like 9 grams of protein or something.
Yeah, well that's obviously that's what protein breaks down into, but I never class it as part of. Do you know what
as a protein goal. So if you're got a calorie, say if you're tracking your calories and your protein goal is whatever it is, then I wouldn't track that into your calories for the day. I would classify that as like a supplement on top of your tracked food.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah. Are oats also fine as post-workout?
I don't see a problem having oats post-workout if you're starving.
Yeah.
I'll often do that for people. Obviously, you're trying to, like, it's the post-workout window, that 30-minute window, the magic window. But everyone's trying to get a little bit of fast-acting carbs in after training, which is why they use cereal, or they might use some waxy maize, or like a carbohydrate powder or whatever. But when it gets to dieting, and you're fucking starving.
And the cereal gets digested in about 2 minutes.
Things digest in 3 seconds no matter what it is.
Yeah.
I've got no problem with changing people to oats. I do that quite a lot to try and keep people's hunger away sometimes if they're like really struggling, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's got a bit more fats in, a bit more fibre in than obviously cereal.
It's a bit slower in it, so it keeps you satiated for longer. Everybody loves oats when they're dieting.
Oh, oats.
Yeah.
I love oats all the time. And also, where I use it quite a lot with, I've got women that train in the morning that need to have their breakfast and then they're not eating till lunch.
Right.
And obviously if I put cereal in, they're starving again in like an hour. So quite a lot I'll put like oats and fruit and whey in as like their post-workout, and then that will get them through to lunch. So that works quite well as well.
Stop the blood sugar dropping as quickly.
Because I used to, well, it still happens to me now actually, but if I have my cereal after a training, then I go out on the dog walk, I get half through and I'm like, whew.
Cold sweating.
Yeah.
So it's a fan. But I wouldn't recommend it in the off season if you're trying to put a lot of food away.
Sorry, Will's just distracted me. He's gone to M&S and he sent me a photo of pastries. No, I'm just
Will, stop distracting her. Takes me all my time to get concentrated as it is.
Okay, sorry, next question. Right. That's them 4. Which magnesium supplement for you? That's not a question. Okay, I did answer this on my Instagram story vaguely yesterday, but I thought it would be good to talk through. How is best to support your partner through a prep if you've never personally done one? Which I thought was quite a good question. Quite a nice, supportive question.
That is a good question, to be fair.
Shall I tell you what I said?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, I just said, basically, you just want to be as understanding as possible. Like, you don't, in my opinion, you need someone to be like cooking all your food for you and like doing everything for you.
Yeah.
But someone that's not trying to like drag you away from your bodybuilding routine. Because obviously, when you're on prep, you need to get your steps in. You need to go to bed like fairly early. You need to like do your training. That's going to be a priority over like going out for dinner with your family or whatever. So I think some people on prep can get a bit like funny with their partners when they're like, oh well, you haven't spent time with me today. And it's like, I think one of the best things you can do is just be understanding that bodybuilding is going to be their number one priority. And it's not that they don't care about you.
And it's not forever.
No, it's just that that's their big goal. So I think if you can just be like, that's fine. Like, just go do what you need to do. Like, it's fine. That is, I think, one of the best things.
Yeah, I think just stepping out of the way as opposed to, you don't have to do more for people.
Yeah.
Just step out the way a little bit.
Yeah.
And if they're a little bit vacant on conversation, they're just hungry and their head's a little bit fried.
Just leave them be a bit.
It's not because they don't like you. So I think just stepping out the way a little bit is good.
Yeah.
But being supportive at the same time, like obviously don't just disappear because that'll probably feel worse. But just being a bit understanding that they're not going to be the most chirpy if they're starving. They are going to have other priorities apart from giving you attention and whatever it is like. I don't know. It's hard for me to say because mine and Becky's relationship and ones that I've been in the past, we're not very like gay. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean? Do you mean affectionate?
Me and Becky are not very like gay. Do you know what I mean? Like we're not like. Ooh,
I've never heard anyone describe it as that before.
How are you feeling about you feel? We're just
right. You just kind of crack on with stuff.
We're kind of like two fucking. Ironically, we're not gay. We're kind of like two boys. Do you get what I mean?
I get what you mean.
Spend the majority of our relationship just taking the piss out of each other.
Yeah.
We don't ever argue. Like arguing is like extremely rare.
Yeah.
But like, you're like two fellas would just like, what you been a prick for?
Yeah, bounce back and forward a bit.
Yeah, it'd just be like, what you been a prick today for? Oh, fuck off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She wouldn't like go, and disappear for 3 days.
And have like a meltdown or whatever.
Yeah, she's not like that, and I'm not like that. Neither of us are particularly sensitive. So she'll just say, stop being a cock. And I'll be like, yeah, fair enough. Do you get what I mean? So we're not very precious with like needing attention and all these like gay things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it never really affected us much like that anyway. She'd just think, it's being quiet. I'll just, you know what I mean? And not think now of it.
Yeah.
And when she used to prep, she'd be a bit quiet. I won't care. I'd just put the telly on or whatever.
Yeah, me and Will was sound like he just kind of got on with his own stuff. And the only thing that was quite helpful sometimes is like if I was out for like a long time, he'd do things like, I've prepped you meal for you or whatever, and stuff like that's quite nice,
something
that's
good.
Quite thoughtful, that's like I've cooked your food and it's in the microwave already, like just little things like that, or just doing little jobs like I've cleaned the kitchen, or I've done this, or just something that like helps you, like something less off your plate can be really good when you're on prep.
Yeah, for sure. And just not being too fucking needy and all that shit.
But Will's quite good with stuff like that anyway, so that's not really just when I'm on prep.
He's not gay either.
No. That's hope not anyway by now.
You get what I mean?
How would you change each other's businesses? What would you do?
I think you've got it down, to be honest.
I don't feel like I've got it down. Does anyone ever feel like they've got it down?
No.
Do you just feel like you've always got about 50 things to do? You're like, my business is falling apart.
Yeah. I don't know. What would I change about your business? It's your business. What would you change about my business?
I don't know.
Come on, you can say.
No, okay. I don't actually know. Yours is great.
Yeah, I think everybody's probably appears great from the outside. I think so let's just say what we like about each other's businesses then, shall we? Will
okay, you go first.
I don't think I've got a business because I have to be in it.
Yeah.
All the time. So I have this conversation with my mates sometimes when people say like business this, business that, and I'm like, I ain't got a business, I've got a job.
Right.
Because I can't step out of my business.
Yeah.
People who have a business can step out of the business.
Yeah.
And the business will run itself. I've actually got a job. I'm self-employed. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
I've got a business because there's income coming in, and obviously Amy and Megan are working, and
Yeah.
there's extra income from bits and sides and pieces. So it is a business because I've built it, but I can't just leave it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in my business with prep coaching specifically, I'm not replaceable.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that you can't just be like, right, I'm just going to hire somebody.
I get what you mean.
Because I am the business. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I am DW. Yeah. So I'm not particularly thingy. So what I like about yours is that you're building it quite well, where there's more things going on that it's building.
Yeah.
So you're able to step out of it a little bit and get a little bit more freedom than what I've got, which is why I'm jealous of Leah, because she can.
It's not there yet, though.
It's not there yet.
It's not there yet, but I'm
you're
hoping
definitely working on it, and I like that.
Another 4 to 5 years, I'm hoping it will be a bit more.
Yeah, so you can build it to a point where it's a brand and not just you.
Yeah, that's what I don't want it to just be like I'm known for it. I want it to be like the brand is known for, like, you know.
And that's what I don't feel like I'm ever going to be able to do, because it is me. Do you get what I mean?
I think it's, I do get what you mean, yeah.
The people who are paying for contest coaching from an X amount of coaches, which are at the top of the industry or whatever, they don't want their brand, they want them. Do you know? And I don't think that'll change for any of us. I think a lot have tried it. I think a lot of the boys and girls at the top have tried it, and it just doesn't work out. Yeah,
I do think as well with mine, like I wouldn't ever fully step away from coaching, because I really enjoy the coaching.
Yeah, same.
So I don't want to, like, I know some coaches that basically run their coaching, but they don't do any coaching.
I feel like that would be more stressful, personally.
You're basically managing people.
Yeah.
Which to me, like, that wasn't why I got into coaching. I got into coaching because I like helping people.
Yeah.
So I don't want to lose that completely.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's just would be nice to be able to take that, like,
I know what you mean.
one full week off without, but there's no point in the year that can happen.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
Even when you're off, I mean, I take 1 week off at Christmas, as you know, but you're not off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're trying to build an Instagram post, or you're trying to do this, or you're trying to do that, or you're thinking about something, you only just get stopped and then you're getting started again. But that's the only downside, I think, of my business. Yeah. But yeah, I like that you're doing that, and I'm what's it called? Low-key jealous. No, not really. I'm happy for you, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay, I've got some. So I like about your business. I feel like that, when a lot of coaches, they like put stuff out and then they're different from what they like put out, or like they come across really like one way and then they're different. Yeah. But I feel like you're just like yourself, and then you're like the same when you work with you.
Probably.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just nice. Like, you feel like it's like relatable, and
I've never thought about that, but
you know what I mean?
I'll take that. Thank you very much. Yeah, not disingenuous.
That's what I was trying to say. I was like, what's the word I'm trying to say?
To be honest, I hate phony bastards.
Yeah.
And you see them on Instagram, and I know about things about the way they are, and I think you're just phony. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I would hate to be like that myself. Yeah. So I just am what I am. Yeah.
And then another thing I like as well is sorry, I feel like I'm just giving you loads of confidence now.
I'll only take one more.
No, I feel like you really care about everyone you work with, and you never miss anything. Everything's like on point. You know what I mean? Everything's just like.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do. It sounds cliche, like thinking it, but I am bothered. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think when you're taking people's money as well.
Yeah, you have to be, don't you?
You're taking people's money, and as daft as it sounds, I think just from being like a normal working class person that has got parents and family and everything that work really hard for everything that they have. Yeah. They've not got abundances of money and things like that. And you've been around that kind of environment your full life. You see how hard people work for their money. Yeah. And then if they're giving your money, I feel like
you want to do a really good job.
Yeah, I just feel obliged to make sure I'm doing the best I can, really. And I think looking at it now, I think that's where it comes from. And obviously I've been a bodybuilder, and I've been in love with the sport, and I've lived and breathed it, and I know what I put into it myself. And so if I was giving somebody money to do that, and it was my like journey or whatever, I feel like I need to. So I'm always rambling about protecting people's like, you're best off doing this, you're best off doing that. Stop trying to do that. Stop trying to do that. It's because I just want everybody to have a decent experience and all that. But I do think it comes from your background as like a working class person who's watched the parents and the grandparents and their uncles and aunties graft for the money and to get a better life and blah, blah, blah. And all this. Money's not easy come, easy go. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And I know it is for some people. But I think giving people value for what they're actually paying for. You know yourself, you'll have clients and they're like, the single mothers, they're working 2 jobs and they're doing this and that. And then they're paying you a big portion of what they get paid every month. That's a bit of weight. That's a bit of weight to carry to give them. Do you know what I mean? To give them the results. Yeah. So, but thank you very much.
Oh, that's right. I'll stop there at my 2.
Yeah, just 2.
Right. We had to do a bit of research on the next one. The insulin one.
We ChatGPT'd this because we had no idea that there was an argument.
I ChatGPT'd, what is the current debate in bodybuilding on insulin resistance? Because the question was, what do you make of the whole insulin resistant debate at the minute? And me and Dan were like, what? What's going on?
We didn't even know. Didn't know people was arguing about it.
I'm going to read you what ChatGPT has told us.
Yeah.
Well, obviously we know the science of it, but we didn't realise there was a debate.
Well, we know both sides of the coin, and we'll answer that. We'll answer that in a minute. But I didn't know people was rowing about it.
No. So basically, the whole thing is around insulin sensitivity is basically saying that staying insulin sensitive in an off season, so basically staying leaner, not gaining as much body fat, helps with nutrient partitioning. More nutrients go to the muscle. This group pushes for lean bulks, cardio year round, berberine, metformin. Using mini cuts, things like that. Whereas the counterpoint would be, you're going to get a bit insulin resistance in an off season. It's not harmful. During like when you're gaining, when you're in like a off season or whatever, it only becomes a problem when it's prolonged, unmanaged, or extreme. So basically saying like it's okay to get a bit out of shape and get a bit insulin resistance in your off season. So there's like people that are staying leaner and then people that are like pushing a bit more. Basically.
For me, as usual, it's in the middle and it's person dependent.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we were talking about this a bit before, weren't we?
Yeah, we've spoken about it a little bit before, but I don't. So right, I'll just. Doesn't actually always come down to insulin sensitivity for the reasons I do it, but it ties in with what that is. For me, I don't want to ever have to. So I would never usually push somebody to go through a full off season, 12 or 18 months without doing a mini cut, because the main reason being that I don't want them to be too fat when they're starting to prep, that we've got 20 something kilos to pull off during one prep, which for a regular little bikini or figure girl is a lot of fucking weight to get through in one prep, right? Yeah. You're either going to be doing a super long prep or you're going to have a real rough prep of basically body weight coming down like crazy fast, which makes the back end more difficult after the show and all the rest of it. The other reason is if you're pushing up through, and this ties in with the insulin sensitivity thing, if you're pushing through a long off season like that, usually your digestion starts to pack in, you start to feel a little bit sluggish, blah, 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 blah. So yes, that comes down to insulin sensitivity, especially like the sluggish things and things like that, and not getting a good enough pump and all these things that do start to die off after you start getting fat. So I suppose listening to that, I am someone that sits in the more insulin sensitive camp because I do give people mini cuts. Some people I like doing a little bit of cardio in the off season, maybe a couple of sessions though. I'll let them do that if it makes them feel better and feel a little bit fitter and all the rest of it. The thing is, we're prepping women and like, they are smaller humans. They don't eat as many calories. They're not banging loads of steroids, so the body fat falls off a lot easier. Yeah. I don't like to run loads of cardio, or at least keeping in daily cardio, because it's a good tool and it does work better when it's novel. Yeah. And introduced, as opposed to being sat there on a daily basis. You don't have an hour's cardio every day all off season, and then you start your prep. I don't like if I can help it to go over 45, 50, 55 minutes cardio. Full stop on a prep. So if we're already at 30 minutes, yes, the calories are coming down, and yes, it is a calories in versus calories out. But if you're a touch more unfit when you start, but it's not affecting your training, that novel stimulus of adding it in is going to make an effect. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So that's the reason for that. I am a little bit of a fan of metformin and maybe berberine with some people if they don't want to use metformin. I'm happy to use that with people to keep them more insulin sensitive for longer. So it does seem to be able to prolong the off season a little bit more. But I'm not worried about people getting too fat. if it's under a controlled environment. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I think...
Go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say, if you're getting a little bit kind of bigger, but your training is absolutely flying, you're progressing loads, your energy's pretty good, you know, your appetite's still ticking over okay. Like, I think as well, like some females do naturally just sit.
Well, that's where I was
a bit more like that.
That was my next comment.
Yeah, so I just think it's like, but then on the other hand, if you're pushing up, you know, you're feeling really sluggish, you're not really getting much out of your training anymore, your appetite's sharp, maybe like your recovery is going a bit iffy, that's maybe a sign that like you do need to pull back. So I just think with that, it's like you want to push the upper limit as much as you can to get the most from it. Because realistically, if you're sat like lean and you're not really pushing your feed, you're probably then limiting your capacity to build muscle. Yeah,
exactly. And you need to be able to eat to grow muscle. And some people, and I'll talk girls specifically, they just get fat quite easily. And what you don't want to be doing is fighting against that. So trying to keep some cardio in, to keep some of the body fat off.
Yeah.
Trying to not go too high. Because next thing, you've done your full off season, you're doing half an hour's cardio a day, you're eating 1,900 calories.
Yeah, where do you go?
And what are you going to do from that? And do you know what I mean? So what I would generally do with people that do get fat easier is try and plan a little bit better.
Yeah.
If you need to make some good progression, I won't name any names, but I've got a good few clients that are like it, and just plan a longer route to get where you need to go. Maybe go 2 years between the shows, because you need to make some muscular progression, and you're going to need to eat calories to do that. And if your body fat comes up easily, it's just going to happen. Do you know what I mean? We've all had it. I've got clients that are pushed like crazy with food, and they don't go over 10, 11 kilos of a stage weight. And some of them end 25 kilos of a stage weight, and they're both doing the same type of thing. Do you know what I mean? So you just need to plan in. If you are somebody who gets fat easily, plan in the periods to bring it down across a time. So you might want to push up for 10 months and then make sure you've got a chance to do 2 cuts in before you start prepping again. So that you're back down within that kind of like 12, 13 kilo range to do in one prep, which is a good figure to be round, kind of sit round, as opposed to thinking, oh, well, I've got 20 odd kilos to bring off in one prep. Because that's going to be an awful prep, do you know what I mean? For the majority of people.
Yeah, agree.
Obviously, as always, there's outliers with that, but the exception doesn't prove the rule, or whatever the saying is.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I agree. Okay, next question. Anything else you want to add to that one?
I don't think so. I think we covered some other stuff that want actually to do with it whilst covering it at the same time. Is that what you think? What we've just done?
Yeah,
I think so. I didn't know. We just didn't know people was arguing about it.
No, we didn't.
Unless they are.
No. As a PCA pro, can you change categories like IFBB bikini can go to figure?
I think so, but I'm not certain. I did ask once, and I can't remember what the answer was. Nobody's done it yet, but I think, and I might be completely wrong, that girl, she's called, bloody hell, her name's right in the, she's called Hannah Forbister or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Who was with Helen and Thingy and whatnot. I'm sure she's gone from training bikini to move into figure, but I don't know if she's having to redo the figure stuff.
Right.
I don't know personally, I think they should be able to. I think it'd be a good idea to allow people to progress from bikini to figure.
Yeah.
Because
if you've already got a pro card, you're going to be a decent standard, aren't you?
You're going to be a decent standard. If you suit the shape and you're putting on muscle, what's the point in going back through the ranks? But whatever the rules is, I'm not sure.
Yeah, because obviously in IFBB you can just...
Yeah, it's not happened yet. I would be in agreement that they could do it if they did, though.
Yeah, me too.
And the same with classic into bodybuilding or physique into classic. I think it's a good idea to be allowed it. I suppose nobody's tried to do it yet, so...
Well, she would be a really good figure athlete, wouldn't she?
You are.
She would be a really good figure.
I always thought she was figure anyway, to be honest. I always thought she should have done figure. I always used to say that.
The shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thoughts on drying out through drinking red wine and vodka?
Not for me.
My thoughts would be on that. I'd be so paranoid about it doing something to my digestion. If I'm dieted and I've not had any alcohol for like 20 plus weeks, what am I going to feel like? A, probably really, really drunk. And B, what if it upsets my digestion or something? It's
just not needed. You just don't need to do it. It's an old school thing. You used to have a glass of wine the night before. And I'm not completely against, I am completely against it because I won't let my clients do it, but I don't really care if other people do it. And like you say, you'd get so pissed.
Imagine how drunk you'd be after a shot.
I've done it. I've done it back in the days, they call it, when people used to do that as a normal thing. And you feel rough as fuck the next morning, and it's like it's just
because you're dehydrated as well.
Yeah, it don't make any difference apart from you might not be able to get a pump as well, and like it just doesn't do any fucking good. You used to see it all the time, like back 2012, 13, 14, 15. You'd see women fucking steaming drunk on stage because drinking brandy to dry out backstage used to be a thing as well. It doesn't happen anymore, but that used to be a thing. I used to see women and they'd be fucking all over the place. Literally, people would be going, she is so pissed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if you saw that now, people would be like, what the fuck? Why are people pissed? But drinking brandy backstage was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, God, if I even have a drink now on an empty stomach, it makes me drunk.
Yeah, it's not, fuck that.
Do you think taking appetite suppressants, e.g. Ozempic style products, is cheating on prep, or does it happen more than we think? Have you ever had anyone take any sort of appetite suppressants on prep?
I've had people come to me that have been using them and I've told them to stop.
Yeah, I've had guys, I've had guy friends that have taken like appetite suppressants on prep, and they were like, it's great because I just never get hungry.
But them appetite suppressants though, or different
not
ones.
Them ones, just general.
Because them ones are, you don't want to be doing them while you're doing bodybuilding, in my opinion. It slows down all your...
You know what it's going to do to rest
digestion. It's meant to be catabolic, apparently. It's just...
Yeah, because there was a whole debate, wasn't there, around like, is it just fat loss or actually eats away your muscle tissue as well?
They lose a lot of muscle as well, don't they? So I've had people asking me if they can use it on the reverse. And I just don't want people fucking about with stupid new drugs, to be honest.
I've had quite a few clients actually. This is actually mind-blowing me, right? Because when it first started to come out about like Ozempic and like Manjaro and all this, and I was like, oh, like this... I don't know. I just didn't realise that many people used it. And then I started talking to people on Instagram and getting consult calls in. And so many people are going to the doctors wanting to like lose weight, and they're not really that overweight either.
Yeah.
And they're just being put on these things, which I do think they kind of have, like, I don't think it's a negative thing. But then I just didn't realise how like commonly it was being used.
Yeah, I think I've not got a problem with it for people that are like mega fat. Because obviously that's going to be worse for you than taking the drug or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? But I'm thinking, but I don't think it's got a place in it ain't got a place in bodybuilding for me anyway.
No, I don't think so. But I have a couple of clients coming to me now that have been on that. Sorry, this is not bodybuilding related, but and now they're just in a place where they have like absolutely no muscle, because obviously they've been using these fat burners basically, not really eating that great. Like obviously their appetite is so low that this girl in particular that came to me like couldn't even eat like a decent sized meal because she felt sick. So she's eating like 2 meals a day, barely, like literally like 800 calories a day. No muscle at all, because obviously not weight training, eating like barely any food, and was just like not even lean.
Yeah.
Like lost a lot of fat, but still carrying a lot of body fat, but no muscle, no appetite. And now I'm really struggling to actually get her food up.
It'll be one of them things we see it every year. There's something new that comes along and this and that. In 3 or 4 years, everyone will be going, fucking hell, I remember when everyone was jabbing all that Ozempic and that. It'll just be another one of them.
Okay, one about contraception. Can you talk about hormonal contraception and PrEP? Can it impact getting lean enough on show day? I feel like we've covered this before, but obviously it might.
You can do it if you want.
So I don't think so, really. Like if you've been on it, like it's like we said before, it's like if you don't want to mess anything up that's kind of
been a constant.
Yeah, because what if you take that out and then you don't know how long it's going to take someone to like
regain the normality.
Yeah, like it can take quite a long time, and then you don't know if your periods are going to be really bad and irregular, and that can be, I think, more hassle sometimes than actually just keeping it in, and maybe there being
just a little combi pill never seems to cause any drama for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Progesterone only, like definitely not. Never seen any drama with it. The little mini pill never seems to be any problem. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't like to tell people do this, do that.
What to do with their own.
It used to be a thing that everyone used to say, right, you're starting prep, take your pill out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not so much a thing anymore.
Yeah. I think the only reason that people more so do it now is so obviously after you've competed, you can tell when you've got your cycle back, whereas obviously you can't really tell, can you, if you're on hormone?
The one thing I'm not a big lover of is like the injections and stuff like that. That gives like a big whoosh of hormone.
Yeah.
Like, at least the pill's a little bit like consistent daily in it.
Yeah.
It never seems to cause any problem for me anyways.
Yeah. And obviously when you have that as well, it's like you don't know how your body's going to respond, and then it's in your body. You can't take it out, and then you're kind of screwed. Yeah. I've had actually quite a lot of problems with a couple of clients that have been on the depot, so I'd always say avoid that one.
Yeah, I don't love it.
Yeah. Okay, so not too much of an issue. Last 2 questions.
Oh.
We've flown through these.
Oh, I've got some as well. Have you done them?
I've done your ones. How How best to feel this is a good one. How best to feel comfortable during a bulk when you are used to always maintaining at a low weight, slim build?
Take it slow.
This actually used to be me.
Yeah.
Well, slash.
But then you love being in a bulk now.
Yeah, I like the food.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think like with everything, just take it very, very slowly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you won't know it's happening so much.
Yeah.
It's not like you're just going to, I think people want to be I speak to people sometimes on consults and they're like, they want to be getting like a kilo a week and this and that. And I'm like, your off season will be over in 10 minutes if you wanted to gain a kilo a week. Do you know what I mean? So if you like increasing food very gradually from your maintenance, like even if you looked at just like 50 calories a week, you're not really going to see that 200 calories a month. That's going to really, I mean, I'm not saying to go that slow, but it's going to drag things along quite nicely. And you're going to be making progress as you gently edge up into a surplus. And we go quite a long way into a surplus without realising how far we actually are in there. And this is the way I do it. I know you'll probably do it the same way, where like you end up that far into a surplus. Like if you'd have done that straight from maintenance to there, you'd have got fat quick.
Yeah.
Because you let the body like take it on slowly, it doesn't gain fat as quickly. Yeah. And that's what we're always kind of trying to do. So if you've never been in a bulk before, just make sure you've got the right person doing it with you and just take it steady. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These push-ups should last long periods of time, like 6, 7, 8 months or whatever, before looking at having to pull down again, because it should be taken really gradually.
Yeah, I agree. And I think a lot of women kind of associate, obviously, like the term bulk, like they associate it with like whacking on loads of weight, eating whatever you want, getting really fat. Yeah. And it's like...
That was a Nancy's bulk.
Yeah, because I work with so many girls who've never done any sort of reverse diet, no building phase. They've just dieted or they've kind of not really done any structure before.
I'd stop people saying the word bulk. Like, don't call it bulk. Cause
I actually did a reel on this recently.
We're not bulking.
And it was like building versus bulking.
We're just trying to, yeah. We're not trying to get bulky. Just the word itself sounds bad.
It sounds like it puts you off. If someone said, do you want to do a bulk? I'd be like, no, I don't want to get bulky. You wouldn't know, would it? It just sounds
it's a horrendous
like repulsive,
word,
doesn't it?
Yeah, it just sounds awful. No wonder women don't like it. It's a building phase. Do you know what I mean?
But I think a lot of women have this like thing that, I'm going to start eating more and I'm just going to like whack body fat on and I'm going to look awful.
Yeah.
But it's like actually...
And it's going to happen in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you take it really slowly, like you're not really going to see any... difference really week to week, especially if you're training hard, right? You're going to look better, you're going to get muscle on. Yeah. Like you can keep a really good body composition.
And the body fat creeps on over a long period of time.
Yeah.
6 to 9 months is a long period of time to slowly be gaining fat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you whip it off in 6 weeks, get it all off, the new muscle stays, carry on.
And you're still eating in a really structured way. And this is where I went wrong before, is like I'd diet, stick to my plan, come away from it, do a bulk, and then I'd just eat whatever I wanted. And then I got fat really quick, which is why, obviously, what you don't want to do. Yeah. But if you're doing it in a structured way and you're just taking your time, like nothing, you're not going to just gain weight.
Yeah. I agree. So don't worry, it'll all be good. But I know people live in maintenance for a long time, don't they, their lives?
Yeah, like I've got loads of clients really who aren't bodybuilders. They want to maybe build a bit of muscle, but they don't want to feel uncomfortable. Yeah. So we just keep them at maintenance.
So they don't mind it coming on slow.
No, so we just keep them at maintenance, really work on the training, and then we can still build the calories up. But it might be that we hold for a few weeks and then we nudge up a bit and then we hold that for another 6 weeks.
So it's just real gradual.
Yeah, but obviously the calories do stay a bit lower because...
Yeah, but they're not in a rush to gain muscle either.
Yeah, and also a lot of women aren't hungry on sort of 1,900, 2,000 calories, like they're fine on that.
It's surprising how many people appetite holds there, isn't it?
Yeah, so...
Especially with whole foods as well.
Yeah, and it is a lot of food. If you're eating like your meat, potato, yogurt, eggs, like you can get quite a lot of food in for 2,000 calories.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Even though that's what Leah's dieting on, she's hungry.
I'm starving. Honestly. I worked out my calories, I was like, this can't be right. And then I worked out again and I was like, it is right. But it feels like so little food. You know what? I don't struggle on the training day because I'm training for like 2-3 hours, whatever. I'm out of the house for 3 hours. And I have an extra meal on a training day. But on a rest day, because my 2 main meals in the day are just protein and veg, I'm literally like hungry as soon as I've eaten the meal.
Yeah. Try pushing that meal back to the late morning. I know
the second one?
The first meal.
Oh no, I can't do that.
You can. You got to go past that first bit of hunger. Then once it dies off, it's all right. Just try it. You'll be starving, and then you'll be like, oh, it's gone.
Well, at the minute, I get up around 6, do my cardio, have a coffee, walk the dogs for an hour, and I get about half through the walk and I'm like, I'm going to pass out. I need to eat my breakfast.
Fair one.
I wake up hungry, I do. I wake up in the morning and I'm like,
yeah,
breakfast.
I suppose I can't say because I'm not. I'll take the dog out for a good half an hour, 40 minutes in the morning, whatever. Do all the things what I need to do, start working. I still won't eat till 12 and I'm fine. But there is that little bit of hunger, but I just ignore it and then it passes.
Yeah, I'm just a hungry person. And I love breakfast. Sorry, I was just thinking about if there's anything else I wanted to add to that.
That's all right.
Sorry, there is one more thing I want to add to that. I also think, because when I was at uni, before I really did bodybuilding, I used to sit I was a swimmer, so I was quite I'm going to say straight, very slim and small. Yeah. And I think the first time I did a building phase, it's a bit because you obviously start looking different, stuff like that.
Yeah, clothes start fitting different.
I do think the more you do it, you just kind of settle in and you actually realise that nothing bad happens and you still look good and it's actually okay.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes it's just bite the bullet and do it, and you actually find out it's not as bad as you thought it was going to be.
Finally get finished building your muscle and just get back down to living at maintenance, you're going to look a hell of a lot better. Yeah. So it's worth the trade-off of feeling a little bit uncomfy for a bit. Yeah,
it's sometimes short-term discomfort for long-term gain.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, last question.
Oh.
First ever photo shoot, but with so many inspiring women sharing their photos, how do you decide what poses to do and what will look best for you? Worked hard for my physique and I want to showcase it, but a little nervous.
This is not a question for DW.
Okay, I've got some good tips.
DW ain't got a clue.
So I get asked this all the time with the girls that do photo shoots because they've never done a shoot before and they're like, where do I put my foot? How do I do this? Yeah. But the photographers are so good. If you work with a good photographer, I'm going to throw a few out there, AK, who else? Chris Bailey, Jay, who does the PCA stuff, Laura Sky. Any decent photographer, they literally position you, look here, put your hand here, twist this leg here. Yeah,
because they're doing it day in, day out.
Yeah, they work with people that don't know how to pose, so they'll literally tell you where to stand because they're trained in that. So I honestly think with that, don't worry about it. But you could just go and get a posing lesson from a posing coach and just say I want to do a shoot, but I don't want to do stage posing because the fundamentals are still the same. Mm-hmm. So you could just go and have a session if that just helps with your confidence a bit as well.
Yeah, sure.
They're my top 2 tips.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't know. I don't do many photo shoot preps, and the ones I do, I don't get involved in.
I love photo shoot prep.
Yeah, I do some, but it's not. I don't get involved in that section of it.
Yeah, you just leave them to it.
I just get them shredded.
Yeah, I like that bit. I like going to the photo shoots with them and doing all the behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I'm a little fangirl from the side.
That's cool. That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's fun. That's all the questions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dan's ready for bed.
I know. I'm a bit tired today.
I'm buzzing because I've had 3 coffees.
I just had a low sleep night last night, should we call it? So I'm fading off now.
Should we wrap this one up then?
Yeah, we can.
Fab. And a little plug, please give us a subscribe, maybe leave us a little review.
Get ChatGPT to do it.
Yeah, a good one. Yeah, that's a good idea. And we'll be back soon.
Yeah, wicked. Bye-bye.
Bye.